think they're letting people get to Michael Jordan? You're tripping.
What if a four-time NBA champion revealed something completely unexpected, that the most famous basketball player in the world couldn't even freely meet women? Not because he lacked attention or appeal, but because the system built around him made it nearly impossible. John Salley isn't just any former player sharing an opinion. He was part of the legendary Chicago Bulls alongside Michael Jordan during their historic 72-win season in 1996. Before that, he won 2 championships with the bad boy Detroit Pistons and later added a 4th ring with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal on the Los Angeles Lakers. He even became the first player in NBA history to win titles with 3 different franchises. So when he speaks, people pay attention. When Salley was asked what it was really like traveling with Jordan behind the scenes, his answer challenged everything fans assumed. Most people imagined that being Michael Jordan meant unlimited access, fame opening every door, money flowing endlessly, and attention everywhere he went. And while some of that image is true, rooms did go silent when Jordan entered and people instantly noticed him, there was a hidden reality. According to Salley, despite all the attention, almost no one could actually get close to Jordan. The security, the structure, and the constant control around him created a barrier that few could cross. What looked like total freedom from the outside was, in many ways...
This is what I said. I traveled with Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, the Beatles. That was traveling with. They're not letting anybody near y'all, dog. You ain't getting no stragglers, because there are no stragglers. Because you're not letting any of that riffraff near the...
What if a 4-in, John Salley, went even further by comparing life on the road with Michael Jordan to traveling with global comparison says everything about the level Jordan had reached. He wasn't just an athlete anymore. He was a global phenomenon. Wherever he went, he moved inside a tightly controlled, high-security environment. According to Salley, the protection around Jordan was so intense that it resembled how a sitting president travels. This wasn't just about keeping him safe, it was about protecting something far bigger than one player. Salley explained that the NBA had so much invested in Jordan that in many ways he was more valuable than the entire Chicago Bulls franchise. That level of importance meant access to him was extremely limited, and that same protection didn't just keep threats away, it kept everyone away, including women. Despite the fame, attention, and endless interest surrounding him, very few people could actually get close. Salley even hinted that his own best nights came in places like Miami, not because Jordan had more freedom there, but because Salley himself wasn't operating under that same level of restriction.
Miami, because when you lose and no one pays attention to you and you go out, the girls still say, you make how much a year? It's still that. Then you get to hang out and you ain't so big, no one is targeting you, no one remembers you.
John Salley explained that this is the hidden reality of being a role player in the NBA. You can lose games, go mostly unnoticed, and move through life with a level of freedom that superstar South Beach Club, blend in and just be another tall guy enjoying the night who happened to play basketball. There was no chaos, no overwhelming spotlight, just a normal experience. Jordan, on the other hand, lived in a completely different reality. He couldn't even step into a gas station without everything stopping, like time itself froze. People stared, crowds formed, and the environment instantly changed. Salley realized quickly that this wasn't just fame, it was something far beyond that. He even recalled a rare moment when he convinced Jordan to go out in Philadelphia. Jordan wasn't comfortable with the idea at all. He preferred somewhere like Atlantic City, where things could be tightly controlled and more private. But Salley kept pushing until Jordan finally agreed, setting up a situation that would highlight just how different their worlds really were.
I went out with Michael in Philly, And I begged him to go out. He was like, no, we're going, down to Atlantic City. And I said, no, man, forget that, man. They already on you. Just come to the club. Sal, I can't go to the nightclub. I said, I got it hooked up. We go in the back
John
way.
Salley described how he carefully planned every detail of that night in Philadelphia to give Michael Jordan a rare moment of normalcy. They used a back entrance to avoid attention, set up cigars, and kept the lighting low to maintain a relaxed, low-key atmosphere. For a brief moment, maybe 30 seconds, it actually worked. Jordan was just another guy in the room. Then everything changed instantly. The club owner walked over and instead of keeping things quiet, turned on every light in the building. The entire place lit up like a stage, all eyes locked onto Jordan. In that moment, it stopped being about Jordan enjoying himself. It became about business. The owner wasn't protecting the experience, he was capitalizing on it. Having Michael Jordan in the building was more valuable than any promotion or advertisement. Just like that, the illusion of normalcy disappeared. The privacy was gone, the attention was overwhelming, and the night was effectively over before it even began.
The owner of the place come and go, is that Michael? Yeah. In my club? Yeah. Turn the lights on. He turned the lights on.
Oh, shit.
So everybody could see Michael was in his club.
Once the lights came on, the entire atmosphere shifted. Every woman in the room tried to get his attention, while every man watched his every move. Conversations that were once private turned into loud whispers about Michael Jordan. It wasn't a normal night out anymore. It felt more like a cage with music playing where there was no real escape. That's the side of fame people rarely consider. On the surface, it looks like Jordan had everything anyone could want: money, status, attention. But moments like this reveal the trade-off. Even something as simple as sitting in a dim corner of a nightclub and having a quiet conversation became impossible. The spotlight followed him everywhere, turning ordinary experiences into public spectacles.
He reads off how practice is going to go, and you put your hands together, and you break. And then Michael and Scotty would run into the training room.
Okay.
And we would be doing calisthenics and stuff with the heavy ball and running over drills, and they'd be in there getting treatment. And I was like, what's happening? Like, I realized they had already trained. They had already lift weights starting at 7 o'clock in the morning and had breakfast, left breakfast.
John Salley didn't try to dress it up. He called that experience the worst time. And when you really think about it, it says a lot. Michael Jordan wasn't just famous in the way most athletes are. His presence carried the weight of presidents or royalty, the kind of recognition you simply can't escape. Salley even compared it to Game of Thrones, explaining that no matter how powerful someone is, there are still places they can't move freely. For Jordan, that meant no casual nights out, no quiet dinners, no meeting new people without it turning into a public spectacle. Those basic human moments disappeared the moment he reached that level of fame. Salley also pointed out that LeBron James deals with a similar reality today. Every time LeBron steps outside, cameras are already waiting, and anything he does can become a headline within minutes. What makes Jordan's situation even more remarkable is that it happened in the 1990s, before smartphones, social media, or constant digital exposure. Even without those modern pressures, the control and attention surrounding him were already overwhelming. Then, the conversation shifted to something deeper: Jordan's work ethic and how it connected to that isolation. When Salley first joined the Chicago Bulls on a 10-day contract, he didn't say much at all. Instead, he spent his first week observing everything: how the team operated, how players carried themselves, and how the system functioned. What he saw during that time completely reshaped his understanding of Jordan, revealing that behind the isolation and fame,
he said, I'm gonna be the first Kobe.
According to John Salley, the routine started early, 7 a.m. sharp. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Ron Harper were already in the gym lifting hard before most of the team had even woken up.
After that came breakfast, some time to recover, and then they would show up to practice around 10:30 as if it were just a normal day. Meanwhile, the rest of the roster walked in thinking they were just starting their work, not realizing those three had already completed a full workout before even touching a basketball. Salley also revealed that Kobe Bryant later followed that exact same blueprint. He would wake up early, hit the gym, get his lift in, eat, and then arrive at the facility ready to train again by mid-morning. But this routine showed he wasn't just chasing greatness, but preparing to define it on his own terms.
To a nightclub, couldn't meet someone without the...
What John Salley revealed about Michael Jordan pulls back the curtain on a side of fame most people never consider. According to Salley, Jordan's life wasn't just about success, money, and attention, it was about restriction. Despite being one of the most recognizable figures on the planet, Jordan couldn't move freely in public. Salley compared traveling with him to the level of icons like Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and Michael Jackson, figures who lived under constant surveillance. Everywhere Jordan went, security followed tightly, not just to protect him, but to control access. Even in social settings, people couldn't simply approach him. The same fame that opened doors also closed off basic human experiences. Salley described how different life was for role players compared to someone like Jordan. While Salley could walk into clubs, blend in, and enjoy a normal night, Jordan couldn't even enter a room without everything stopping. One story from Philadelphia highlights this perfectly. Salley arranged a private, low-key night out for Jordan, complete with a back entrance and dim lighting. For a brief moment, it worked, but as soon as the club owner realized Jordan was there, the entire place lit up, turning the night into a spectacle. Instantly, all attention shifted to him, people staring, talking, and trying to get close. What was meant to be a quiet outing became overwhelming, forcing Jordan back into the spotlight he could never escape. This level of fame meant Jordan never experienced normal life, not in clubs, not in restaurants, not even casually in public. Salley described it as one of the worst parts of being at that level. It wasn't just attention, it was total loss of privacy. Even today, LeBron James deals with a similar reality, where every movement becomes a headline. But what makes Jordan's situation even more intense is that it happened before social media and smartphones existed. Even without modern technology, the grip of fame around him was